It is week 1 of the NFL preseason. We are pumped, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do another watch party tonight with the Bengals and Eagles. We're going to get into the joint practice between the Dolphins and the Bears that's coming up tomorrow. Players that we're going to be looking at, players that we want to keep a close eye on, and maybe a position battle. I don't know if I want to call it a battle, but a position that we might have a little concern with. We'll get into all that coming up next on the Chicago Sports Podcast.
Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Ready to roll, my friends. Welcome in Chicago Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. I am Matt Cooper, and I got my friends with me here. I got the Bishop, my 9-win buddy, the Bishop. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Matt? I can't walk it back. I'm the 10-win. 10-win. I'm standing on it, man. No, I'm doing great, man. How you doing, Matt?
I'm good. You know, I just slowly mentioned the 9 when I thought was going to go over your head. I didn't know if you were going to catch on.
Man, bro, don't much go over my head. And my boy D Nice, what's going on, baby?
What's up? I'm in here. I'm here. How you guys doing, man?
Man, we're pumped, man. We're pumped for football season.
Yeah, ready to get it started from
this
point on.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, it's week 1, man. We got a couple of games today, but we're going to be focusing on the Bengals and Eagles, and that starts here in about a half hour, man. Yeah, 3 preseason games today, man. But we're going to be focusing on Bengals, Eagles, and that starts here about 30 after, and we're going to kind of go through it. We're going to talk about both teams and the offseason and what our expectations are, concerns, everything. We're going to break it all down with you guys. And we're also going to get into the Bears joint practice that starts tomorrow at the Dolphins because they do play the Dolphins on Sunday. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. You guys can like and subscribe our page here, man. Follow us along. We got shows popping up all the time, especially now during football season, man. We got shows coming up all the time with you. And you can share this video with your friends as well and tell them, hey, man, watch this damn video because we're all diehard Bears fans and we're breaking it down. I'm trying to force it into you, man. It's because we got that anger coming into us, man, as we're talking about the Bears. But it's in a good way. I'm talking about the anger.
Yes, indeed, man. From this point on, I'm sorry, Matt.
No, man. You're excited, man. We're all excited, man. We can't help it.
From now to February, baby, the journey begins. We're
gonna talk about the joint practices, guys. That's coming up tomorrow with the Dolphins. The Dolphins. We could talk about them here in a second because I don't know if they're going to be very good this year. I mean, who knows? But I think they've made a lot of changes, and you can kind of tell that they're retooling a little bit with some of the moves they've made. But as we talk about joint practices tomorrow, first off, I like that. I don't know about you guys, man, but I like these joint practices. Even watching some of the videos today, I forgot which camp I was watching where it was getting real chippy. Oh man, maybe it was the Ravens and the Colts camp. They were getting a little chippy with each other. I saw Mike Vrabel breaking up a fight with his shirt off, or he was talking with his shirt off, man. Like he went in there and he had like bloody cheek and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, yeah, man. I'm like, man, this is awesome, man. These joint practices. What are your guys' opinion? Do you think? I think these joint practices do very well for all teams, not just the Bears. I think it does well for all the teams in the NFL.
I think it's definitely necessary myself, man. Because part of the reason for the chippiness is because now you get a chance to go at some guys that's not in the same uniform, but it's just the heat, man, and the rigor of everything. And think about it, man. We're talking about 6 weeks that everything has to be condensed into to get prepared for a season. So if you think about it, preseason's been reduced, been shortened. At one point, it used to be like 5 games, then reduced to 4. Now we're only doing 3. So and in some cases, for some teams, new coaching staff, which means everything is new. You got to try to get all of this stuff taught and learned and applied in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So that's why the first 4 weeks of the regular season look so sloppy because it's really an extension of the preseason, you know. But I'm all for it, man. Whatever it takes, let's get it going. It's football season. Let's get to it, man. You know. But D-Nice, do you think I'm right? Am I off? Or what's your thoughts on it, man?
Nah, you right on schedule, man. You're saying all the right things, man. You're absolutely correct when it comes down to these joint practices. Very necessary. It's always good for these guys to see something different and hit some guys with a different helmet on. Um, it gives you, because when you're going against your own teammate, you're not going live very often. Even though we just heard the live periods the Bears been having, you know what I'm saying, have been the livest since, since Lovey was here last from what I've heard. But going against another team, you're sure to see, what I'm saying, live rounds, going up against a different type of pass rusher than you used to for the offensive lineman. For these corners, you're going up against different type of receivers, and you're facing the defense as a whole, you're facing a new signal caller. Whoever that may be, you're going to go up against a different scheme than you've been going up against for, your first week or two of training camp. So it's very necessary. Gives you more of a game feel instead of, because we all understand what practice is. But when you're going up against another team, another uniform, you're gonna have a game feel. You go through these game day progressions as far as how to prepare and things of that nature. So yeah, absolutely necessary.
And it gets you ready for the first preseason game of the year too,
Rookies,
man. I feel like the first preseason game you're getting,
yeah.
you've been in camp for a couple of weeks. You're trying to, especially with a new head coach that we have, you're trying to get all the systems in place, and you're gonna have that nerves. Not only with the nerves, but that first game after a couple of weeks of practice to be out there in front of a ton of people. Like there's going to be. I mean, I know it's only one game, guys, but I imagine Soldier Field's gonna be packed on Sunday, and to see what the rookies are like and get the rookies out there in front of some in-game situation. I just think it's beneficial all the way around, man, to go into that. And we got a lot of players we're going to be watching and keeping an eye on, guys, because when you start looking at the offense, I mean, we're going to start with the offense. The offense, with all the changes that we've had with the head coach and the new plays that we're putting in, I'm excited to see the receivers. Burden and Odunze, I'm excited to see, depending who's playing or not, and Loveland out there with the rookies. But just some of these playmakers that we've been seeing a lot about in camp and we've heard about the last couple of weeks, guys, especially with Loveland. When you hear Loveland's name and you hear Burden's name, you see the speed that he has. And then Monangai, the running back, man, because we hear that. But he's lighting some things up in camp right now. Those are the guys I'm going to be keeping an eye on, D-Nice. And then, of course, the offensive line and the left tackle position. But I want to see some of these playmakers out there in this new offense.
Absolutely. I think everybody should play. Even though the joint, I think everybody should play on Sunday. Starters play at least one full quarter is necessary. We're not in any position to be making light of the exhibition season. We're not there yet. No one's on the team is such a vested veteran outside of Joe Tooney, but outside of him, no one else is on this team is a vested enough veteran for to be taking the preseason off. Everything's new. So we need to see how this stuff translate in live action. If, like I said, a quarter for me, or 3 possessions, depending on how the game goes. If the defense makes a big play and get us a turnover, we get an extra possession in a quarter, cool. But 3 possessions is a whole quarter for me. That's for both. And I think that the whole thing should go throughout the preseason. No one is good enough to be sitting out the preseason. Sorry.
I have to agree with you, man. I've been saying that for the longest, man. I get it for the teams that's been together a lot longer, and you're bringing back your core. Then yeah, you could potentially afford to sit your first unit. But anything beyond that, man, you got to at least get a couple series. You got to get a couple series under your belt, So I'm with you. If the starters should at least play the first quarter, and then after that, you pull your ones, and then your twos run, your second quarter, and a series of 2 into the third. You move them, and then everybody else get the rest of the game. To me, I think that would make better for more interesting and better football at the beginning of the season versus us going through what I consider preseason, the first 4 weeks of the regular season. That's just me.
Guys, I got a question for you as I'm thinking about this and hearing your guys' take and everything that we're leading into this weekend for the first preseason game. The joint practice tomorrow, and there's going to be a lot of breakdowns with that too. You're going to have the different position coaches with the different position players and the scrimmages and stuff like that. What do you think? And these have really blown up. I think these have really blown up, especially the last couple of years. What do you think is more important in the first preseason week? Is it the joint practices tomorrow with a lot of the star players that we have, or is it going to be the first preseason game on Sunday, not knowing who exactly is going to play or who's going to sit out?
You gotta be. You gonna
Yeah, I'm thinking about the question, and that's a doggone good question, Matt. I'm going to go with the joint practice, and the reason for that is you're installing, you get to make corrections. You get to, in some cases, depending on what the two coaching staffs agree upon, in some cases, if they're old school cats, kind of like a Ben Johnson, where they might be like, hey, okay, that wasn't right. Let's break that down and redo that, But I think it's the joint practices because you can get a lot more accomplished. You can see more. Plus, you can get more on film to be able to go back and evaluate once the practice is over with. What you think, D-Nice?
I think it's both. I'm gonna tell you why. Joint practices are what they are, but when you get your guys out there into the real game situation from that whole particular day, like you're taking these players through a whole game day as far as preparation is concerned. So that part of it is good for the young guys. Joint practices, like I said, they are what they are, and they're practices at the end of the day. So therefore, there's limitations. Okay, compared to going into a preseason game, you're preparing like the real thing as you would prepare on week 1 through 17. So I think both are great, and you can use both to your advantage, especially if you're a team like the Bears, young, in a new offense and a new defense. You have to take advantage because the preseason is short. So you take advantage of each opportunity that's presented, on both angles, through the joint practices and through the live preseason game. You have an opportunity to figure out who your guys are going to be. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to earn to be the starter? Who's going to be the second string? Who's going to win this position battle over here? Who's going to win this position battle over there? You have to see how these guys translate between these practices and live games. So I think it's both.
I agree with you. I agree. I like both of I like where both of you guys went on this. But the more I'm thinking about this right now, I'm thinking about those position battles. I'm thinking about some of those positions on the team right now where we're looking at our depth pieces. Maybe a cornerback position where we don't have Jalen Johnson playing right now. And I mean, we could all speculate he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
And we could all speculate if he's going to play week 1 or not. We just don't know the answer to that. So when you're into that quarterback room and you're trying to see which cornerbacks are going to be able to take his spot for week 1, if he's not going to be able to play week 1, well, those joint practices with the Dolphins, I think you're going to be able to see a little bit more of some of the players that could be in that position than we normally would as far as the first preseason game. So I think it can go either way. And it made me think about that just a little bit more when it comes to those depth pieces.
And then too, Matt, we have to think about this. We are a lot different than a lot of other teams in the league at this point of it. We have a second-year quarterback, and it's his first year in this offense. That's big. I don't care who you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically, and I'm thinking like this has nothing to really do with the Dolphins. I'm just thinking strictly for the Bears. The Dolphins is the opponent on both of these days, so that's cool. But having these young guys, feel the tension of, live action, because we know what practice is, bro. And even
Yeah,
the environment is different. The
I got you.
environment is different in these practices compared to having to travel and prepare and be a professional going into a regular season game, even though it's preseason, but you're still playing in the same, you're still going through the same motions.
Well,
So,
another thing, a difference too, also, and what you brought up, D Nice, makes a lot of sense. The other difference is you have officials on the field. So now, I mean, yeah, you're calling certain things as well in practice, but there's nothing like having the officials there to where now you're really being governed in terms of the things that you're doing when it comes to technique. So your false starts and all the other penalties that can take place. I think if it was me, um, I would incorporate having officials in on my joint practices in some cases, just to give as much of the reality of a simulated game as possible, if it makes sense, you know. But for that, man, I mean, D Nice, you're right. The preseason, you there's nothing like it because that's live football, and you got guys that's literally competing for jobs, whether it's with the team that they're on currently or they're auditioning for the other 31 teams who may be looking for a player at that
mhm.
particular position as well. So you're right. The joint practices do help, but the real evaluation is during preseason games when you strapped up and you're getting at it. And now you have that film along with the film from the joint practices that you can use for evaluation purposes to determine who's doing what, who's winning certain position battles, who's going to be your definite number
Mhm.
twos. So yeah, all of that, it all it I guess you can say they're going to balance each other out at some point, but I think they're equally as important.
Yeah, and you have to find something to take away from both of these situations. If you're the Bears, even the head coach, even Ben Johnson, as seasoned as he is and was as a coordinator, this is his first year as a head coach. So, and it's different. It's different, and you have to find takeaways from each
Hey,
one.
you bring up a good point, D Nice. It's something that I didn't even think of that part about the
Right.
about the
Yeah,
because yeah, you're
man.
right. It's gonna be a different feel for him for that first game in preseason, and it's gonna be different for him being the leader of everything and everything coming through his headset, and he's got to make those decisions and just getting that experience alone. That's gonna be a big deal, even if it's the first preseason game of the year.
Yeah, like you just in a situation like the Bears, you just have to you have to take away something from every situation at this point of it until guys, get acclimated and they can show that they got this thing, that they can take this bull by the horns. That's just how it is.
And
Yeah.
guys, as we get ready for the joint practices and those we'll be getting a lot more of that tomorrow, and I can't wait to see some of the stuff coming out of the position
Hey
battles
man,
with the
before we
players.
switch up, I got a question, and I got a question for you guys.
Yeah,
The joint practices
Mhm.
used to be longer than 2 days. I think I think the joint practices should be at least 4 days. I think we need that much time just to really get to me. I don't think there's you want to try to simulate a game as much as possible. Granted, it's practice, but I just think if you got 3 to 4 days of opposing players, everybody has the same goal in mind in terms of teams, in terms of everybody's evaluating it. But I just think, man, to get a chance to put a hat on somebody that's not in the same uniform for more than 2 days, I think it can help. But you know, that's just me. I'm a glutton. I'm a glutton for football. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it, but I think because of them shortening the preseason like they did, and they're allowing these teams to have more than one joint practice. You know what I'm saying? Well, more than one team for a joint practice. That's why I think they've probably
okay,
shortened
okay,
it.
now
You
that
know what I
makes sense.
mean? Because I think I think Buffalo's coming in here too. Are we going up there, one of the two, for a joint practice? If I'm not
I think
mistaken,
they're coming
I
in
could
for
be
a
wrong.
joint practice. From what my understanding, they're coming in for a joint practice because there won't be any joint practices for week 3. But I believe week 1 and week 2 you get joint practices.
Because a lot of these guys, are not fans of the preseason, man. They're just not.
Get us the
They
regular
just
season,
not.
yeah.
They rather, and even fans. A lot of us are not fans of it too. I'm kind of indifferent. I'm glad
I
they
don't know why
shortened it
not.
a little bit. So, man, I'll be ready to get the ball rolling, dog. I'm just being real. I'll be ready to get that thing get this show on the road. But I think they're necessary. But I just, what I'm saying, I don't like the 3. I was hoping for 2 games and let's get this thing started. But they cut it to 3.
I think,
So
guys, too.
Shut.
I mean,
Before we, hey Matt, hold on 1 second. I want to do something real quick. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Tracks, Trapper Keeper, and everybody else that's out there. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in with us. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Again, this content's for you, and it wouldn't be no us without you guys. But thanks for jumping in and
I think he was getting emotional there, D Nice. He's getting emotional. No. To what the Bishop was saying, man. Yeah, thank you guys for watching tonight. And you could like and subscribe on our YouTube channel too, man. All the shows will pop up on the Chicago Sports Podcast. And you could share this video with your friends as well. As we lost him for 1 second. Oh, he's back in. We'll get him back in here in 1 second here. There we go. There he is.
I bounced out. My bad.
Well, I was just going to keep you out forever, but I'm like, all right, I'll bring him back.
That's cool.
I'll allow it to happen just this once, Bishop. All right.
Okay.
And then I'll change my win prediction after that. So what I was going to bring up to Dina, what I was just thinking about is I was listening to you guys talk about the joint practices. I just think because it's so quick, man. Like, think about it. They've only been in camp for 2 weeks, and everything is so fast right now. And I agree with you. I think it would be cool to have a couple of more days of some of these joint practices, but I just think that everything is so fast right now where they really monitor the amount of days that they want with the other teams and getting ready for the preseason game. I just think they're kind of cautious in everything that they have put together here for the preseason because it's so fast now. Taking away that one preseason game, everything is a little bit quicker. And for a lot of us, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't like watching preseason football. I like to watch some of the starters, some of the guys we're keeping an eye on it, and I like to watch the fact that there's football again. But by the time the 3rd and 4th quarters roll around, I'm not going to sit here and lie to everybody and say I watched a lot of it. I'll turn a lot of it off and then watch some. And this is what's the beauty about our world right now is then I'll go on X, I'll go on Instagram, I'll go on the stories, I'll go on the shorts, and I'll start watching the highlights of certain players and certain things that I think are key for our team and other teams and stuff like that. So I just think in general, I think they just try to keep to the quick, strict preseason schedule right now. And I think that's why it is where we have the one joint practice tomorrow. So
not by much, but they shortened it. So, I'm glad of that.
And guys, with we got a couple of minutes until we get into the Bengals-Eagles preseason game here. We got a watch party for that tonight, so we're gonna get that here. We'll have the score. We're gonna talk about both teams, off seasons, and everything about both teams coming up here in just a little bit. And we also have a way you can win a jersey, and we'll get to that here in just a couple of minutes as well on how you can win a Bears jersey.
Let me give you a quick score update. I'm sorry, Matt. Quick score update. Right now, Colts 3, Ravens 7. So
is that big game Daniel Jones playing today, or is that Embiid playing today?
You know what? I didn't even pay attention, man.
It should be a competition up there for sure. Both guys need to be playing. They need to split that game in half between the two of those guys.
I think that coach is also worried about if one of those guys are going to pan out or not, too.
Well, actually, I don't. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay a closer attention because I know the coach ended up actually starting out on defense, and they ended up with an interception. So that's how they ended up, and they scored off of their turnover. So, but I wasn't even paying attention because we were into conversation, so I wasn't even paying attention to who was under center. But
guys,
check it out next.
As we talk about the joint practice tomorrow with the Dolphins, we've got a couple minutes left on that. I was talking a little bit about the offense, the defense, a couple of players. the rookie linebacker Hyppolite, I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Brisker, I saw some people tweeting out about how good Brisker's looked the last couple of days. Austin Booker on the edge. So there's some players that I'm keeping an eye on in the joint practice and the videos coming out. Anybody on defense, guys, that you're going to be keeping an eye on?
I'll let you go with that first, D Nice.
Nahshon Wright, Austin Booker, Sewell, and that's pretty much it. Shamar Turner's not playing, so. But yeah, Sewell, Booker, and Nahshon Wright. Those three guys, I'm gonna keep my eye on.
For me, it's Nahshon Wright. I actually want to see. I want to see what Dexter's looking like, because he's chiseled. I want to see what he's looking like. More importantly, how he's going to be. I know it's going to be vanilla, but I have a feeling. that DA is going to still throw a few wrinkles in there because he can't help himself. So I'm curious to see how they're going to use Dexter. You know, is he just going to be strictly 3 technique? Maybe he might get some edge work. We'll see. Get moved around on that line. And then, as far as my third defender, I you know what? I want to see Hyppolite. I really do. I want to see what Hyppolite looks like in this scheme, man. Guys, he's prototypical for what Dennis Allen likes. So I'm really curious to see how he's going to look. So those are my 3.
I got one more guy.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Sorry, man. I got one more guy.
No, get it in, man. I want to hear it. And
this guy has been resurrected by Dennis Allen. You know, he was one step. In my eyes, he was 1 foot out the door, but Dennis Allen pulled this guy back in, has talked about him a great deal, and I guess it has instilled a lot of confidence in him, and that's Dominique Robinson.
Ooh, I didn't want to go out on that limb and put that name out there.
We all have to. We all have to, because we've given them hell, Bishop. We've given them a lot of hell, and we've designated him to special teams, but DA has resurrected this guy and says the guy has a lot of ability and he believes in him. So he's going to get a lot of time too. He's going to get a lot of time to show what he can do, and he's a guy that we have to have our eye on. All Bears fans have to have an eye on this guy, because this is make or break for him. Now, he is the guy that's still learning how to be a defensive end, but he may have to be good somewhere else if he doesn't pan out here.
His name's been on the list. And if you look at the list in the beginning of the year, before training camp, and you saw some of the cut lists, I felt like I always saw his name on all of those lists too. So that's a good one too. That's a good one, man. Because I'm cheering for that guy. I'm cheering for him, man. I'm hoping Dennis Allen can raise the record.
I am too, Matt. Honestly, I didn't want to put his name out there because I've been called an apologist when it comes to Dominique Robinson. So I said today I was not gonna mention his name, because everybody I get blown up, man. Everybody, you're just an apologist. You've been liking this kid. That kid is garbage. And this and that. I don't look, man. You don't stick around in the NFL if you're garbage. Now, I'm not saying that he's all that either, but when Dennis Allen, your D coordinator, speaks about you almost every other day at the podium, and when he speaks of you, he's speaking of you highly and continually saying things that he's noticing and how you're affecting the practices. Hey, man, it's worthy to take a look at and see exactly what this guy is going to do. And I want to see the transformation over these last 3 years. I want to see the transformation of his body, but more important, I want to see what tools have he added to his toolbox. That's what's going to be important. That's what's going to help him make this team.
I agree. It's a hot topic. He's a hot topic name, man, that we've on all the shows that we've done here on the Chicago Sports Podcast. So excited, guys. We're going to watch those stuff coming out tomorrow, the videos and everything with the joint practice with the Dolphins. And I think my favorite part's going to just see what Mike McDaniel's wearing, because I find that guy to be one of the just unique people I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he's got some of the best things I've ever seen him wearing, man. Like that, just watching that guy talk, dude. I watch everything of him because he's so out there, man. So I can't wait to watch some of the stuff coming out with him tomorrow. Head coach of the Dolphins.
He had an Eberflus like transformation, man. He got him a haircut and got him a, you know what I'm saying, put some mousse in that thing, got some style. He looked like a playboy on the sideline, man.
Got the tan too, man. He looks like he's always tan.
He's truly have adjusted to Miami life. Let's just say that he looks he looks very Miami-ish. But I hate to say this for him.
Yeah.
This year is make or break for him. In my opinion, I think if they don't do well, he will not be the head coach after this season. That's just my opinion based off of some things that I've heard, you know, because I do have opportunity. I kind of chime into certain cities and listen to their newscasts and stuff just to catch their sports. And needless to say, right now, the city of Miami ain't real happy with Mr. Daniels. So he's got to really get some things going. And granted, all of it's not on him because, again, he's not out there throwing the football. So when your quarterback can't stay healthy, you know, that's a whole nother story. But it's your job as the head coach to have guys prepared and ready to be able to step in and fulfill a role to keep.
No, he's right. He's right. I see all the things with him coming out.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And the Dolphins had a really good draft too. They had a really good draft this season, this offseason, drafting Kenneth Grant, the guard out of Arizona. They also drafted Quinn Ewers from Texas. They drafted Ollie Gordon, and Jordan Phillips from Maryland, who was a real sleeper, very good defensive tackle. So, you know, they got some things. They have a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, to be, you know what I'm saying, pretty happy about. Offense, not necessarily in question. The only things in question for those guys is the health tool with the concussions. They have a lot of explosiveness on this offense from A-Chain, Mostert, of course, Tyreek Hill.
If he's still with him, do you think he'll still be on the team
kid from
by the first game of the year?
Who?
Yeah,
Tyreek?
I think he will.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Jordan Waddle, you know, that thing with Tyreek Hill, you know, I don't blame those guys for kind of, you know, stepping up and let him know that, hey, bro, you disrespected us by quitting on us, because that's what I mean. You can make any excuse you want for Tyreek Hill. If he wasn't such a good player, would you really be making those excuses for him? At the end of the day, he quit on those guys and he let it be known in the media. You know, you can feel how you want to feel, but once you put that thing out there on social media, or once your lips touch that microphone on that podium or in the locker room and you say all these things, man, you're making a mark that you can't kind of erase, you know?
And they're retooling, man.
Anything disparaging about the guys, regardless of how the season turned out, because you have a responsibility to this team as well. So just because you got your numbers to single yourself out is out of pocket. And that's something I can't respect. And those guys shouldn't have to put up with that. I don't care if Tua don't play well in the cold. I don't care if he wasn't available because of concussions. Nobody on this team that you're going to battle with every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday deserves for you to go openly quit like you did, Tyreek Hill. It's just not right.
And yeah, we'll see him tomorrow. And like I said, the Dolphins have changed a little bit of the roster this year. So we'll see everything tomorrow with the Dolphins and the Bears in the joint practice. Hey guys, before we get into, and thank you guys for watching too tonight. I see so many of you watching. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page, man. And you get all the notifications, all of our shows popping up. We got a lot of shows that we do during the week, as especially now we're in the football season. We do have a jersey giveaway, and I am going to show you exactly what you need to do. So we've had a couple of winners already. Cheryl is our latest winner. She just won a week ago. Congratulations to Cheryl. She's got a new Bears jersey, and you can have a new Bears jersey too. So all you have to do, like, comment, and subscribe, man. And we choose one winner monthly, guys. And these jerseys are sweet. And they could be yours, and that's all you need to do. So get that in there, and we'll choose, and hopefully we'll be choosing your name. We'll be talking about you the next time we pull a jersey, guys, from the Chicago Sports Podcast. Just a little thank you saying thank you very much for watching the Chicago Sports Podcast. We appreciate you guys very much. And
Yes,
we couldn't do it without you, man, with the jersey too. So thank you, guys. All right, guys, we're getting ready here for the kickoff of the Bengals-Eagles preseason game. And we're going to do what we just did. So we just started doing these, guys. We're going to be doing this all throughout the football season, where we're going to be watching a game on Thursday nights for Thursday Night Football. We're going to be watching a little bit of the game. I know there's 3 of them tonight, but we're going to focus on the Bengals and Eagles, the game here that is just about to get underway. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you the stats and the scores and stuff, and kind of go over all the teams and anything that you guys got to say too in the comments. Is there anything that you think about either team or anything that's on your mind? You can let us know in the comments, guys. And I'm going to pull this up, guys. Bishop D. Nice. And I think when we start talking about this game, we're going to start right away with the Eagles, since they did win it all last year. They did win the Super Bowl last year, and they looked dominant at the end of the year. And I don't know about you guys. I still think, I know they lost some players. We're going to go over about some of the players that they lost in the offseason, but they got some young studs on this team, especially on the defensive line. And they got a lot of those guys coming back. I still think they're going to be very, very good.
I'm going to let you start out, D-Nice. I'm going to let you start out, brother.
I agree. Even though I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, I do agree he runs that system well. Saquon Barkley, if healthy, is going to be trouble. Those guys that have on the outside all the way into the tight ends. You know, Philadelphia has done a wonderful job of putting a great group together on both sides of the ball. They've drafted very well. Coaching, you know, Sirianni is who he is. He gets a little outside himself sometimes, but he's a risk taker. He's a risk taker, and he believes in the guys, and he understands what it takes to win. So, you know, they should be a good group, you know, if injuries don't derail them.
Well, I agree with you to a certain extent. I'd have Jalen Hurts in the top 10 as a QB. And the reason for that is you don't get to the Super Bowl twice and win it. And I get it. Everybody going to say, oh, well, he's got the right pieces around him. Let's be clear on something. Everybody out there, there's 32 teams. There are 32 systems. To say he's a system quarterback or he won because of the guys around him, last I checked, there's not one quarterback, including the great Tom Brady, who has won a single Super Bowl, a little less a game, solely by himself. Does he put up PlayStation numbers? Probably not. But one thing the guy is, he's a winner. And he does it in a way where he's not flashy with it. Maybe that might be the case. You know, maybe people want to see more flash, but I mean, come on, man. The guy has a Super Bowl ring. He's got an excellent team around him, and he has a little say with regard to who he does get a chance to get in the GM's ear and kind of share ideas of who he thinks could be, you know, they could go out and get in terms of when they make trades for certain guys. So I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't put him in the top 5 right now, but he's top 10 because you don't have the level of consistency that he's had being a scrub. And I'm not saying you calling him a scrub, D-Nice. I get it, but I think he's a top 10 QB. You know.
Yeah, I think it, like, you know, I never, like, listen, in this day and time when you're critiquing players, you know, a lot of people don't leave no room or leave no gray. It's either black or white, either good or bad. Not being in the top 10 doesn't mean that you're bad. it just means you're not amongst the elites, and to me, he's not. But hey, remember, Nick Foles got a Super Bowl ring, so
Yeah. But
you
when
know.
we talk about elites, there's some guys that they're putting in the top 5, top 6. They haven't even won a playoff game yet. But they're calling that person elite because of some physical traits or physical talent or the way that person throws the football. No, man, come on. And we can't do that. We have to look at the body of work and say, has this guy won? Is he a winner? And also, is he a leader of men?
You know what?
And there's some guys, man, that has not won at the level that Jalen has won yet to be considered elite. So they need to get bumped down.
When I think of as we're talking about Jalen Hurts, if you put together a top 5 list of hot button people to talk about in the NFL players, Jalen Hurts is always going to be on my list. I feel like he's always going to be on that list. But here's I think he's a good quarterback, yes. But here's what I think the Eagles do so well is they are ran so well in that organization, man. They draft so well. They get the right players in place because so many people, if you want to talk about Jalen Hurts, people talk about Nick Sirianni the same way. People wanted to run him out of town last year before they won all the games at the end of the year. But you know what Nick Sirianni did that was really smart at the beginning of last year is he put very good coordinators in place when they won the Super Bowl last year. He put Kellen Moore as his offensive coordinator, and then he's like, you know what? I need to go get somebody on defense that's going to shut everything down to complement our offense. So who does he go get? Vic Fangio. And we know Vic Fangio in Chicago, man. Vic Fangio was a great defensive coach for us, man. So he went out and got those coordinators. To his credit, he went out and got those coordinators and replaced the ones from the year before, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl, man. So I just think that organization in general, you can have some of the average players. You can say, is Jalen Hurts is he a superstar quarterback? Is he a good quarterback? Well, when you have an organization like that can complement and have the offensive line and go get Saquon Barkley and have the weapons and then have that front 7 on defense, man, I think everything is open for debate with that team, man, because of how good they are, how everything in that organization's ran so well.
But that's
which is the point.
But that's not Jalen's fault.
No, not saying it's his fault.
No, not blaming.
I'm just saying I feel like that's the reason why we bring up his name all the time is because if you take a look and see how everything is ran in that organization.
Yeah, like it's I don't know, man. I just feel like the Eagles win a lot of last year specifically. The Eagles won a lot of games because they took the ball out of Hurts' hand.
No.
What?
No. And I'm going and this is why I'm saying no, D Nice. I don't see it as they took the ball out of his hands as much as I see it as this is what we're going to do. You stop us. Until you stop us, then we don't have a reason to unleash our quarterback on you. But if you stop us, then we had no other choice but to rely on our quarterback. And then when they needed to rely on their quarterback, he came through for them, D Nice. But
he definitely did.
But what Philadelphia did, Philadelphia went back to the basics in terms of how football is played. It's a ground game first. And they just showed that you can't stop our ground game. Period. I don't care what. And then when we need a first down and it's 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, or 4th and goal, you're not stopping our ground game. We don't have to throw the football. You stop us from getting what we need to get on the ground. And nobody's been able to do it.
Listen, best O-line in one of the best O-lines in the game, one of the best running backs, and your back went for 2,000 yards, bro.
Because nobody can stop him.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Your back went for 2,000 yards. Your quarterback threw 18 touchdowns and didn't even throw for 3,000 yards.
Oh, well. But they got a ring.
That's not top 10, though. Like, okay, the ring is the ring. All right.
No,
that's that.
Hold on,
but we're talking about is Jalen Hurts top. That's not top 10, man.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say this. if he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, if they don't get to the Super Bowl with the numbers that he put up, the Eagles might draft another quarterback.
Nope.
18 touchdowns from your season today's NFL. Now, 80
Well,
in the 80s, he might have
but
been
part of
cool.
today's, but D Nice, part of today's NFL is because we have people that's pushing the narrative of more points, more points, more points. But then at the same time, what we hear on the opposite side of that is, well, all we have to do is hold a team to 17 points. So how many points do you really need to score to win a football game versus how many points do you need to prevent your opponent from scoring to win a football game? Let's cut out the whole garbage about the 4,000 yards and the 35 touchdowns. Look, man, stop me from doing what I'm trying to do. When you can do that, then guess what? Then I'll have to, you force me to switch up. But until then, I'm running it down your throat. Now, you stop it, now I'm going to throw the football. If you stop that, then, okay, I got a problem. But what I'm not going to do is, I'm not going to let you dictate to me what I consider to be great.
And it's not that we dictate, but we just looking at these other guys that we consider in this upper echelon. Lamar Jackson, his running back, I don't know if you heard of him, Derrick Henry, 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, right? But Lamar Jackson still threw 41 touchdowns, over 4,100 yards.
And how far did he get?
Come on, man. Listen,
how far did Lamar get, bro?
But we all know why the Eagles won that Super Bowl because of the defense.
So there's three phases of a game.
So why we asking how far did Lamar get? Because it's three phases. We just talking
because you see now see here you playing both sides against the middle, D Nice. I see what you're
talking about just playing the quarterback position, nothing else. Like I said, the Super Bowl is what the Super Bowl was and is. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, you'll never, even though Jalen Hurts outplayed him in that Super Bowl,
he did what? What did Jalen Hurts do?
Outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Hell, Matt Ryan outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. But who won? Well, but we would never say that Jalen Hurts is better than Patrick Mahomes. We'll never say that. We'll never say that.
By the way, guys, as we're talking about Jalen Hurts and Eagles, in the game today, though, the Bengals just scored a touchdown. As you're talking, as the Eagles are about to get the ball here in just a second, the conversation revolving around Jalen Hurts and top tier quarterback, but top tier quarterbacks, man, Joe Burrow in the opening drive here, 6 of 7, 71 yards, man, looking like, and I'm sure that's going to be it for him. I'm sure it was just one series for Joe Burrow, but Jamar Chase with a couple of receptions, man, and all those guys, man, if all those guys are on the same page this season, man, I feel like that offense, like the Eagles, like we're going to talk about here in a second, as they get the ball, man, that's going to be an offense to watch.
Now, the Bengals is a team that don't have any problem scoring, but they're going to have a problem with stopping people. So they're going to have to average 40 points.
They got a new DC, right? Because they fired the old one, right?
They got
a new DC, but they don't want to pay their main guy, man. Now, and that's
the Bengals is an excellent example. Joe Burrow's playing today. Jamar Chase is playing. Like, these guys are playing. And Joe Burrow is much more accomplished than Caleb Williams, and he's playing. If Caleb Williams does not play Sunday, I'm going to have a problem, bro. I'm going to have a problem, man.
I'm gonna have to, D Nice. Am I gonna have to come down to Georgia, man, and keep you from punching a hole in the wall?
I ain't gonna go there, man. But like, come on, man. Like, let's not do this. Because I don't know if you guys remember. Remember, when Trubisky came off his Pro Bowl year, right? After 18, the next year.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy had this man sitting out of preseason games like he was headed to the Hall of Fame, man. That burned me up, dog. Listen, this can't happen. Look, Ben Johnson has done everything right. He's checked all the boxes for me. Do not allow Caleb to sit out this preseason game. He has to play.
No, he won't.
Has to play.
He won't. He will.
I'm gonna look funny if he don't, man. I'm just saying. Monday, whenever I get back on these airwaves and talk to these people, man, you're gonna hear from me, man.
Nah, I'm calling you, bro. I'm
gonna hear from me, man.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna FaceTime you, bro, because I got to see your facial.
I'm gonna do the same after the Bishop's done.
Like, listen, man.
Bishop, you just have to text me when you're done, and I can do the same.
Yeah, look, that's gonna be. We might need to put that on. Can I video FaceTime?
Man, look, man. We cannot talk about getting this thing going in the right way, man, and we doing that bullshit, man. Like I'm not gonna be able to contain myself, bro. I'm just not gonna be able to do it. Like,
I guess it just goes back to what we were talking about, guys. Like between the joint practice and the first preseason game of the year, because teams have already come out this week and talked about how they're not going to be playing a lot of their starters, but the importance of it. I mean, look at the Bengals, for example, man. They got them in there, man. They were going in there and they were rolling, man. Like they're ready to go. And I know they're probably playing with a chip on their shoulder.
But see, the Bengals have to though, Matt, because they've been bro. It's been some stats that was broken down on those guys. First of all, the last couple years they gotten off to slow starts. Over the last four seasons, they still hold a losing record in the first 2 months of football, bro. So they have to. That's why these guys are getting some run in the preseason, because they got to figure this out, bro. Because for whatever reason, and looking at their schedule, they cannot afford to come out 0-2 or even be 2-2.
And that's
with the way that they schedule, man. They have got to come out cooking.
That seat kind of hot for their coach too.
Ooh, yeah. You're right about that, because I mean, because that's been the question. Like, what is the coaching staff doing leading up to the first game of the season, and then we still lay an egg, so people are asking that question, like, what are you guys doing? How are you getting these guys prepared? You guys play great at the back half of the season, but why the struggle in the first 4 to 5 games of the season? Why are you guys struggling so much to where literally 3 years in a row they start out 0-2?
Well, I think they said it was their defense. Yeah. I mean, if you look at their offseason and the moves and stuff, the new defensive coordinators in there, and they pretty much revamped the entire defensive staff, the defensive coaching staff, man. So they're really putting their eggs on their defense and trying to get that defense better, because last year, man, I think when you see the Bengals, and that's why they lost, was because of the way they played defense, and they let up a lot of points last year.
Now, towards the end of the season, they hit a switch and end up getting that thing together. But you guys are correct. Hey, them first couple of weeks, because I think they were on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football when they played the Commanders. Man, them guys are like they playing in the park somewhere, man. Couldn't nobody stop nobody.
That's what I'm saying, boss. And see, although they went out and got a new D coordinator and they made these changes at coordinator, they have a major problem, which is I'm going on record. I think the Bengals owner needs to get out the way, and they have a philosophy in house that I think is really hurting their team, and why they don't get free agents that be looking to go there. It is on record that the Cincinnati Bengals is an organization that does not believe in paying more than 1 year of guaranteed money. There are only 3 guys on this team that are getting multi-year guaranteed money. That's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They don't want, and now, and it's public and it's come out because he's put it out there. Trey Hendrickson said, we're very close, if not spot on, in terms of the amount of money I want. He said, the problem is we can't get the guaranteed, the amount of money guaranteed in terms of years. He wants 3 years of his contract guaranteed. So I don't want to guarantee 1 year, boss. 1.
And they got all the offensive players coming back, like we saw here in the first quarter here with the Bengals. You know what's crazy too, guys, as we talk about the Bengals. First off, the Eagles are not playing their starters. As we watch along for their game, they've got McKee playing quarterback, Shipley is the running back. Like they're not playing their starters like the Bengals did for the first series. I don't.
Yeah, shout out to Will Shipley, man. Shipley, he getting busy.
Ooh, okay.
4th and goal at the Cincinnati 1.
So
you think they go for it?
That's a touchdown.
Oh, they just scored. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, the ESPN working. And if you guys see that here in the chat, if the ESPN is running a little bit slow, I had to refresh it a couple of times, but it looks like we're back on track with everything with it. So,
well, look, NFL Network is running a little slow too, man. I think what that means is you got a lot of people tuning in, man, and watch some football tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys in the chat room too. Thank you guys for watching the show today, the Chicago Sports Podcast. If you're new to the show too, you guys could like and subscribe on our YouTube page, man, and love to have you along with us as we do watch parties here every Thursday night. Tonight with the Bengals and Eagles, as there's actually a couple of games going on right now, but we're focusing on the Bengals and Eagles. We were talking about the Bengals as we are. The Eagles just scored. We're talking about the Bengals and their offense. And do you guys think with the receivers? I like Higgins and I like Chase, and I think they complement each other really well. And I like their tight ends. I actually like all their offensive weapons for the most part. But do you think in this day in the NFL, man, with everything, with the salary cap and everything, that it's worth for that team to get both of those receivers signed and have them still play together? Or do you think that you go into the draft and you let T. Higgins walk last year instead and get somebody else to come in and use that money for somewhere else? Because I feel like that's always a hot button topic when it comes to the salary cap. Because for this instance, I think they need both of those guys. If they want to go where they need to go, they got all the chemistry together. They've been together for a long time. I think they all need to be together. But I think it's an interesting topic to bring up because the salary cap alone, paying the receivers on the same team that amount of money.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I thought it was the smartest thing they could do, which was get T. Higgins under contract and sign long term, because he brings an element to their game that, as good as Chase is, Chase cannot bring what T. Higgins brings to the game. And in all honesty, Chase has the numbers that he has because of T. Higgins being opposite of him. You know, not to say that Chase is not a dog, because he is that dude. But having a guy like T. Higgins with his size, his catch radius, and the things that he do, and talking about a guy that can get separation, also considered a possession receiver as well. That was the smartest move that they could have made, because Joe Burrow needed his two weapons, period. Had they let T. Higgins walk, I don't think that they would have the type of year that they are projected to have had they allowed him to leave. That's just my take, in my opinion. What you think, D-Nice?
I agree with you, and it's not like Chase and T. Higgins are the similar type of receivers.
Right.
That's where a lot of teams screw up. You know, you're surrounding your QB with the same type of guys, so you can't. There's no versatility in what you can do offensively, because the guys that you surround the guys by is the same thing. There's no way you can change things up. There's no adjustments to be made because you can't, because you get the similar type of guys surrounded by your QB. T. Higgins, only issue I have with T. Higgins, and I think Cincinnati had the same issue, is his availability. He's missed a lot of games because of injuries in the past, you know, but when it's time to pay the man, you have to pay him. He has chemistry with your quarterback, and honestly, any smart organization is going to do what benefits the quarterback, you know, from an offensive standpoint. Especially when you don't have the players, or you can't get the players to come in from free agency. You have to depend on the draft. Now, hell, they had the sack leader for the last 2 years, you know, and the secondary was pretty good. You know, it wasn't terrible. Well, last year everything was bad over there. But, you know, just, you know, from the time they went to the Super Bowl up until now, they got decent. They have very good players on defense. You know, I think the problem may be a schematic issue on defense, which is the reason why they changed. But offensively, you can't take T. Higgins away. You know, you take T. Higgins away, as good as Jamar Chase is, you cripple that offense.
Yeah.
By the
Now, the
way,
great thing they did, they added Chase Brown, and he's going to bring another dynamic. So, yeah, you got to if these guys got chemistry and rhythm, you can't take that away. You'd be foolish because it's not like guys like him are falling off of trees and, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, they're not.
and you get rid of a guy like that, you're going to have to end up eventually trading for a guy like that. So you already got the man in house. So what we doing? What we talking about?
Right.
You know.
By the way, guys, I was wrong. The starters for the Bengals are still in there. Joe Burrow's still in there. Brown's still in there.
Hey, man.
As a running back, Jamar Chase is still in there, man. Like they're going another series.
Yeah.
Man, these folks mean business, man. These folks out here on a business trip, man. These folks ain't playing, man.
It go back to what me and D Nice was saying. I think if nothing else, you let your ones at least get the first quarter. Let them get a couple of series under their belt, because what people don't understand too, man, when you once you strap on them pads, man, now it allows your body to start getting prepared and ready for the season also. So that getting hit and putting and laying blows is necessary to get your body prepared. Along with the body get prepared, the mind gets prepared, and everything else. All that's important, and I like it. I think Cincinnati is showing that they're serious about this season, and I'm hoping that this carries over for them into the the first couple games of the season. We will see.
Yeah, and you just look at tonight. Look at the guys that's sitting out. Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP. He not playing. He can sit this one out. Jalen Hurts coming off a Super Bowl run. Ain't necessary for him to play either. Those guys, you know what I'm saying? They cool. Anybody else, let's get it. Outside of Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, because he old, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Especially Caleb Williams. Man, I'm telling you, man. Friday, I need to see it.
You mean Sunday?
He got to be out
Sunday.
there. I mean Sunday, I'm sorry. Sunday. Man.
I'm calling you. I'm telling you, I'm calling you, boss.
And look, hey, I'm
calling you whether
Blow his phone up.
I'm calling you whether he plays or he doesn't. I'm calling you, bro, just so I can see your facial expression either way.
Man,
I want to see it too.
Man.
I'm FaceTiming you, bro. I'm like,
Screenshot that.
and when you see my call come across, you're like, answer.
Nah, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna be at work, but I'm gonna answer. Cause man, listen, bro, this ain't the time for that. This is not the time.
No, I actually expect the ones for the Bears. I expect the ones to play a full quarter. I do. And then from
kind of like what the Bengals are doing right now.
I think after that, I think they'll play a full quarter, maybe even in the first series of the second quarter, and then after that, they'll get pulled because that will allow you to see what you need to see, and you can get enough on tape to be able to go back and do some evaluating to make some corrections, and then you let Tyson Bagent and Case Keenum, do the rest.
Oh, I think the Bengals. Yep, Bengals just scored, guys. Bengals just scored another touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, and I can't see who that was.
Go ahead and say it, D Nice. Go ahead and say it, D Nice. That's elite. That's an elite quarterback.
Hell yeah, he top 5.
It was at the 35-yard line, man. So Joe Burrow with a touchdown pass. Trying to see who that was too. We'll get that here in just a second, but. I mean, already 9 for 10, 122 yards. I think Joe Burrow's ready, man. He was out last year. He was out in the beginning of the year too, if you remember right, where he missed a lot. He missed a lot of the time in training camp. And here he is. He's healthy, man. Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he can sit down now though. He ain't got. He can go put on the jumpsuit.
Put on the jumpsuit.
He can go take a shower.
Yep.
Yeah, you can go take a shower.
Yep. Put the earpiece in.
What do you guys think? 2 touchdown passes? Do you think they bring him out for a third series, so he goes for a third touchdown pass?
Nah, that's it. That's a wrap. You got 2 touchdowns. He got some good run in. Get him out of there so he don't, because you got to remember, and this is something that I want people to understand too. This is preseason. Part of the reason why teams are protecting their starters is because you got guys on the opposite team that are fighting for a job. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want somebody to get rolled up on and sustain an injury that's not necessary. So with that being said, the Cincinnati Bengals have accomplished their goal, which has gotten a little bit of rhythm. They got their ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
They know, hey, we seem to be on what we've been working on in practice the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming together. We see it here. We see it right now. All right, that's enough. Pull those guys. Let everybody else that's competing for a job play the rest of the
Hit
way.
the showers. Hit the showers.
Think we'll get Desmond Ridder coming in then?
Hey,
Don't forget the
Yeah.
Bengals just signed Desmond Ridder,
Yeah.
man. He should be coming in here at some point. I would
At
think.
this point, bro, you can put anybody you want in.
I'll go in. But nah, man, that's good. I'm glad to see that for the Bengals, man. That for I want to see them do
Yeah.
well. You know, because I've always liked Joe Burrow. I liked Joe Burrow when he was at LSU.
Yeah.
So
Joe should have been
I
Joe should have been MVP last year, man. And damn the defense let him down.
He had a hell of a year. He had a hell of a year.
Defense let him down, man.
But imagine if they hadn't started 0-2. This is the thing. I don't think nobody. Well, there's been a few that went on record here in the last week, as far as national media and said it. Had the Cincinnati Bengals made it into the playoffs would have shook out a lot different in the AFC, I believe, because them boys would have been a problem.
They've been a tough out, man.
There were some teams that were glad to see that them boys did not make it.
Hell yeah. Baltimore.
They were hot at the end of the year, man. Hot.
Baltimore won on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be an interesting AFC North, guys. AFC North is going to be a very tough division because Baltimore, I think they look like they drafted well and they got some players in the offseason to better the offense. But I am just interested with these Bengals, man. I think the offense is going to do what the offense does. It's going to be all question about that defense, and they're about to get back on the field here. And if they don't have Trey Hendrickson, man, they need to get him in there. They need Trey Hendrickson in there. They need him to get in here, get him signed, and get this thing rolling, man, if they want to win that championship.
Well, along with the fact too, man, this is the problem that I have with this whole situation, besides the fact that not wanting to pay, I'm not going to say not wanting to pay the guy, but not giving the guy the guaranteed money that he wants. I think part of the problem too is that they got to be mindful of is you got to let this guy get some reps in, both in practice as well as in preseason, for the simple fact, man, this is how soft tissue injuries occur. And that's my fear, man, is you're going to prolong this thing. And then when you do finally decide to sign this guy, he get out there, now he ends up with a soft tissue injury that he's out for another 2, 3, 4 weeks, if not longer. So I don't know what they're doing, man. They got to get it together, bro.
Okay. All right, here I go. Trey Henderson, right? Last 2 years, he's been 1 or 2 as far as the sack leader. And both years, the defense is subpar. Okay. Is it really necessary? Is it really a pressing need for him to get back on the field? He's giving you all he's got, and the defense still ain't no good. You know, that was my
look at what they're doing right now.
That was
man.
my whole case for why. You know, I'm thinking, why don't the Bengals figure out a trade situation for him? Because this is how the Raiders looked at the Khalil Mack situation. Hell, we bottom 5 with you, making all pro in 2 positions. We still bottom 5. We can be bottom 5 without you.
I hear you. I hear you, and you're not gonna get no argument out of me on that either, D Nice.
No, okay. And we look at the Cleveland Browns. They signed Myles Garrett all that money. Good for him. Listen, I'm always happy for guys when they get that check cut. But Cleveland, have you silently told your fans and the league that for the next 4-5 years, y'all cool with being where y'all at?
But see, in Cleveland's case, their defense were one of the better defenses in the league. It was their offense that was garbage.
Right.
So they got to work on the offensive side of the ball, where Cincinnati needs to work on the defensive side of the ball. So maybe they should do this. Do a swap. Give one team the other, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
My point with Cleveland, though, you done gave Deshaun Watson all this money on the offensive end. Then you turn around and gave Miles all this money. How you gonna get some players in here unless you depend on the draft? How?
Good question. Well, yeah, I'm no argument here.
Now, the Deshaun Watson thing was a gamble, and they lost. I feel for them on that one. But this Myles Garrett situation, you did this to yourself. No way, man. Myles Garrett's supposed to be playing for another team. Just being real, dog. Yeah, he's great. He's one of the greatest pass rushers ever, but the Cleveland Browns ain't good for him.
You guys, by the way, as we not to take away from what you're saying, what the Scrolls has up here, that sounds about to hit his Vic Fangio as DC is something we'll talk about. I think that's a pretty good comparison. We'll see if that comes to light. But I agree about Myles Garrett. I think the Myles Garrett thing, man, is interesting. I think that a lot of that is because they definitely need that guy to have that presence for the Browns and the fan base and everything that's going to go with them, because they're not going to be good this year, man. What are they going to win? 5 wins?
I get that part, man.
He's a great player. Dude's amazing. He's one of my favorite players in the league, man.
You got to have a guy. You got to have a guy to put on front of the program. I get it.
But it ain't Myles. Myles is one of the faces. I'm here to tell you, man. The Cleveland Browns, they got to get out of their own way. They actually have a guy, and y'all can call me a homer or whatever you want to call it. I feel they had their quarterback. They got their quarterback. Nice. They got their quarterback.
Bishop.
Find out tomorrow.
Bishop. Where you at, Bishop? Where you at? Who is it, Bishop?
12, bro.
I hear you.
They got their quarterback, man. They got their quarterback, boss.
Well, do we start tomorrow, man? We'll be able to watch tomorrow, man. He's going to start tomorrow. We'll see. You know what's funny, guys? Is we're talking about the Browns and the you know what's funny is we're watching the Browns, their defense, and the quarterback situation that we'll find tomorrow. Even watching this game here with the Bengals, man, we're talking because this is how it got started. We're talking about the defenses and the offenses and what teams are missing right now. Look what this is.
Oh, I got one for you, D. Nice.
Look at this, guys. So look at the Eagles have scored 10 points on the Bengals defense with all of their backups playing here.
Yeah.
I know it's preseason. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, man. It's already
no. Listen, it's legit.
They've got 10 points, man.
I respect it.
D. Nice. When I say Cleveland has their quarterback, let me be clear on something. I'm not saying that they have an elite quarterback. What I'm going to say, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. They have their Jalen Hurts. Without the leg, I'm talking about without the legs. But they got a guy that can throw. They got a guy that can throw for 3,000 yards, boss. And he's accurate. He's accurate.
I'm pulling for Shador. I'm pulling for him, and I hope he can, you know what I'm saying, shake this bullshit that Cleveland doing to him, because it is some bullshit. But I do not think he's that. I think he's a guy that can have a long career. I don't think he's a starting caliber QB. I don't think so.
Well, we're gonna find out, man.
Listen, this season gonna be season behind the scenes with me and you is going to be interesting, bro.
Can he become? All right, let me say this. I feel like Shador Sanders can be Geno Smith. Now you know how long it took Geno
He's
to be
ahead of
Geno.
I think he's ahead of the curve a little bit than Geno. Geno was his own worst enemy, boss, in the beginning. Geno was his own worst enemy, man. Geno didn't put in all the work necessary, boss, in the beginning.
Listen,
Look
that
very
might
good in
be
the videos
true.
I've seen so far.
That might be true, but yeah, when I see Shador as a and I don't want to say he can't be starting caliber because Geno has really worked himself up to be that. But I think I see Shador and I see Geno Smith. That's what I see. Now, where do you put Geno Smith at in today's NFL statistics? He's put himself right there in that top 10, 12, you know what I'm saying, as far
Top
from a
15,
number standpoint.
top 15.
From a number standpoint,
Yeah, top 15.
absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And
You know,
that's ain't nothing wrong with that.
so I say that to say this. I think Shadur's gonna have to go to a couple places before he finds himself.
Well,
I don't think he's gonna be in Cleveland because Cleveland is letting it be known. Cleveland is telling the world that they not gonna give his kid a fair shake.
I don't see it like that, man. And in a sense, I don't see it that way. I hear what you're saying, and the reason why I say I don't see it that way is because there was 31 other teams that could have took him, and they didn't. And the fact that they did, and granted, he's starting tomorrow because of the two guys that the half of the local media wants to see. Because let's be honest, it should do it better than Kenny Pickett. Yes. It should do it better than Dylan Gabriel. Yes. Dylan Gabriel can't even see over the can't even see over the line, man.
This is true. Dylan Gabriel's a little guy, man. He's a little guy. He's a
got
little guy.
Little slight hamstring strain. It ain't nothing major, man. They just for precautionary reasons they sitting him.
He's a little dude.
The Bengals have gone to their backups, by the way, guys. Joe Burrow's out of there. They got Browning in there right now. Browning,
yeah. That's the right thing to do.
As we kind of expected here. They were going to probably do the quarter of their starters, and now they got Browning in there. They took all their starters out. That's what it looks like on my area. But it was a very good day so far for the starters, man. Joe Burrow, 9 of 10, 122 yards. Jamar Chase, 4 receptions, touchdown, 77 yards in one quarter. Dude, these guys, we're talking about the Browns right now. You do know that's the Bengals play the Browns the first game of the year, man. So in Cincinnati, I can't imagine. I don't know what's going to happen with that game, man, but I can't imagine the Bengals aren't going to walk away with that game without scoring like 30 to 40 points.
Yeah, they're going to put it up.
Everything looks
I'm actually
sharp.
watching the game right now.
They're going to put it up.
They don't have it. Yeah, they don't have it on locally down where I'm at right now. They have the
I got it. I'm watching it on NFL Network.
Yeah, they don't down here.
Should
and Jake's right. By the way, he says Geno does play tonight. The Raiders do play tonight.
Yeah.
For the night game.
Pete Carroll, Geno gonna be in there, man. Versus Seattle too. But
oh yeah, that's right.
Back to Shador, man. They just signed Huntley too, former Raven, kid out of Utah.
Or Dolphin.
Yeah.
Dolphin too.
Yeah, sure
was he a Dolphins last year or was that the year before?
Listen, that's what I'm saying, man. Shador starting when they play Friday. Shador starting Friday is a pacifier for people that want to see him.
Nope. I'm not accepting that, D Nice.
All right.
They don't have another choice. They got two guys sitting. You can't.
I hope he does.
Him and Huntley, right?
You can't play Huntley, and you just signed. Huntley hadn't even practiced but one day, so you can't start him anyway.
He is playing about.
He has no other choice.
Well, hold on now, because Josh Dobbs, remember in the regular season, Josh Dobbs and the Vikings, when they played Atlanta, he didn't even practice. That was his first action.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, I
You
get
know what
that.
I'm
But
saying?
no, yeah,
But I just listen. I don't. Like, and it's nothing. It has nothing. It has very little to do with Shador. Okay.
oh, I agree with you on that. I put
This
all the onus on. I put all the onus on the
this is a
organization, bro.
Cleveland thing, and they're putting this kid out here just to satisfy people,
But
and
see,
then it's gonna be like if he doesn't perform up to par, it's gonna be like, see,
but
this is what they do, bro.
so D Nice. Let me hit you with this. So just a little FYI. So I had the opportunity of speaking with a couple people that I know that are in Cleveland
Mm-hmm.
that has access to the team and who have actually been at some practices.
Mm-hmm.
What we're hearing in the media is not what should be reported. The reports that's coming out is saying this kid, no matter whether it's the threes, the twos, or whoever, this kid is lighting it up. The accuracy you cannot deny. The placement of the football you cannot deny. His preparation you cannot deny. So that's why I say I agree with you in terms of I put the onus on the organization.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to get it right at the QB position in decades. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but I'm thinking that this is the thing, this young man that we're referring to, because I'm in Texas, I followed this kid when he was in, you know, high school as well as college and now here. And I've seen a continual progression in his game. And this kid undeniably wants to be great. And part of the reason is because of his pedigree.
He works, man.
You know
He
what I'm saying?
works. He
So
works. He definitely works.
the
And like I
team
said,
that he's not at the team that I
it's
wanted him to
nothing
go to,
against him.
but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to force their hand and he's going to change the minds of many people when it comes to their perception of his play.
Mm. It's like I said, man. It's nothing against him. I wish him the absolute best, and I hope he finds lightning in the bottle and make everybody in Cleveland who booed him, even the damn owner, eat their words. I hope that for him. But I just don't see, because when you're in a situation like he's in, like they can cut bait with him just like that. You know what I'm saying? 5th round pick, you know.
Can we stop with the fifth round pick stuff, man? We all know what that was about, bro.
I'm
We know what that was
We know
about.
what that's a.
Let's not
Listen,
do that either. Let's not do
yeah,
that either.
absolutely. But no, we have to do. We have to do that. That's important context. I'm gonna tell you why. Being that they did it that way, regardless of why they did it that way, they're able to handle him and play with him in any way they want to. They're able to create narratives and make him look like XYZ because he was a 5th round pick. If he was a 1st or 2nd round pick, they wouldn't be allowed to do that because it'll make their drafting department
Well,
look like fucking
it's gonna look
idiots.
like fucking idiots
Okay,
anyway, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna happen anyway.
so I think what I'm saying. He's going to be he's going to be a serviceable guy that's going to be able to play for a long time, but he's going to have to get out of Cleveland. Cleveland is not going to be a good place for him because they don't want to set it up for him to be. They would rather lose and wait on Arch Manning.
Please.
I'm telling you, listen, man. I'm telling you the way these people be thinking, bro. They would rather lose and keep, or not necessarily just be straight up losers, but just keep doing what they've been doing and wait on Arch Manning to come and save them.
Arch Manning's not coming out in the draft this year. He just said that.
Nah, he's not.
Playing
He's
back. So
not.
I don't think.
But
Cleveland's only going to win about 5 or 6 games this year, guys. I don't think they're going to be. The NFC
okay.
North is very tough. I think this is going to be the Bengals division. This is the Bengals, and I think they're putting the display on tonight.
Just think about it, guys. And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to kind of like see. What is their motivation to do anything differently? They got their franchise player locked up. He locked up. He locked in.
What's their motivation? They
What's the
the city
motivation?
just guaranteed them $600 million for a new stadium. That's their motivation. You need somebody.
And you
Myles
think,
Garrett is not filling those stands by himself, bro. He's not.
listen,
And
man,
I'd be damned if a Dylan Gabriel or a Kenny Pickett is going to fill those stands, bro.
Bishop, they moved the damn team out of Cleveland
What?
because they were doing the same thing they doing now to move it back to Cleveland to do the same thing. Do you honestly believe? And they sell out. They about like us in
They are.
Chicago.
They
They're
are
gonna
us in
sell out
Chicago. They are us.
regardless.
They're our cousins.
Right. Okay. So do you honestly think that this little road they going, this little journey that they got going, gonna stop them from getting a new stadium? Absolutely not.
Well,
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens up there, and I think everything that they're doing with their offense, and they got all the draft picks for next year, and I just think in this division with the AFC North, man, as we're watching the Bengals play today, man, like when you're playing the Bengals twice a year.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, man. Yeah, they definitely treading up upstream.
Even like the
look,
like this Bengals team, right, man? I think they're going to smoke them by like 40 points that first game of the year.
Hey, listen, man. Cleveland is waiting for Cincinnati, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow to get old and hurt. Because they know they cannot. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore. Can their fans really blame them for not being up there with those guys? Absolutely not. They don't have it.
By the way,
and for you to think that Shador is gonna put them and make it interesting, hell no. They don't want him to do that.
Okay.
They looking for Arch to come
Arch
in and
ain't
do
gonna
that.
do it either, brother. Let's first of all, man.
Listen, I'm not saying that he is, but this is how this thing goes. They're willing to invest in a Manning over a Sanders,
Well,
bro.
that go back to something else too, but I ain't gonna go there. We'll leave that alone. That's a topic for a whole nother day.
Well, it's only been one Sanders that's been successful in the NFL. The Manning's been 3 of them. So, I mean, if you want to play those percentages, I don't think they're wrong.
I'm not even gonna go with the number part of it. I'm gonna leave that alone, bro.
Guys, with the Bengals right now, though, the again, McKee looks really good as the Eagles' backup quarterback, and he's driving down the field right now. And I would have to take a breakdown and see what they got on defense, but it looks like the second stringers here for the Eagles, man, are looking pretty sharp. McKee right now 6 of 7 for 101 yards.
Let me put it like this, because I'm watching the game, Matt. The Eagles' second unit offense looks way better than the Bengals' second unit defense.
On defense. But that's the problem with the Bengals as we talk about the Bengals, guys. They got the new defensive coordinator in the depth, and I'm just wondering if it really was all of the defense. If the defense comes back and does what they did last year, man, there's going to be a lot of questions in that town. And I see another pass here from McKee, man.
They just got a sack.
They didn't even sign the kid. They didn't even sign the draft.
He signed. He's out on the field.
No, he's in.
He's playing right now, actually.
Okay.
And from what I've heard, and the people in Cincinnati say, the couple of days he's looked pretty impactful already, man. I mean, it's training camp, it's preseason, but he does look pretty damn good the first couple of days in, from what I've read.
Yeah, that's it. That's his job as a first round pick, man, to be impactful. That's your job.
And they need that, man.
Especially when they when they're all pros, you know what I'm saying? It's your job as a first rounder to be impactful, man, regardless
Yeah.
of the situation. So, you know,
So how many? So guys, and thank you guys for all watching in the chat today. Everybody watching Chicago Sports Podcast, thank you guys very, very much. Can't do this without you. What do you think the win total, as we're at a commercial right now? What do you think the win total will be for the Bengals? How many wins do you think they'll have?
10.
ooh,
Well,
I say 11.
I say 10 reluctantly
I say 11.
because I still feel that they're going to have to average well over 30 points a game.
And you know what? You're right, Bishop. But the difference is, I don't think that's gonna be a problem for them,
No,
man.
not at all. But the thing is, I don't think they have a problem with scoring points at all. But they're not going to be unless I don't know what they got to be. They got to prove that they can stop people, man.
Yeah.
And what I'm watching right now, just from the second unit, it ain't looking great, bro.
And you know, even more importantly, man, the question is the opponents. I said 11 for Cincinnati, but we don't know what Pittsburgh is going to be. We have an idea what Baltimore is and Cleveland, but Pittsburgh is a very interesting situation. So, I mean, anywhere from like 10 is not bad. Anywhere from 9 to 11 for me, you know, it could go for the Bengals. But Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers, I know the Jets.
Okay,
You also
I gotta
you always
ask you
got to
this question. No,
consider.
I'm gonna do Matt's job for a hot minute here. I gotta ask
Go
this
for it.
question to you, D Nice, and I'm gonna throw this at Matt. But you said it, so you go first. What makes Pittsburgh an interesting situation? Is it because of the addition of Aaron Rodgers? That's what makes it an interesting situation.
Because they were interesting before he got there. Remember,
Elaborate.
they were using third string. You know what I mean? Like they have a defense. They've shown they can run the football. The only inconsistencies they have is at that top position at quarterback. Like they've shown that they could be, you know what I'm saying, pretty good everywhere else. Remember, like they went through Pickett, Trubisky, and Rudolph and still made it to the playoffs and gave the Bills a competitive football game in that playoff game. I don't know if you guys remember, they kept it competitive till they couldn't anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they rode that ugly 3-headed monster all the way to the playoff. You know, Tomlin.
So let me ask you this. Was it because they were that good, or was it because everybody else in the division was just that bad?
Well, listen.
The
players are the teams are the teams now, and all we can do is focus on us. If they say we in, we in. We might, and we obviously ain't that good. Obviously, we not that good because we gotta do a damn round robin at quarterback. So we ain't that good, but we good enough to get to where we at. And like Parcells say, you are who what your record say you are. So it's not necessarily about because listen, look, a lot of these teams they get some dumb looks sometimes, and you know, hey, they get to where they get to. But we all know who Tomlin is as a coach. Pittsburgh, like I said, they got running backs. The defense is there. And they competitive with everybody in the division. They might be limited offensively, but they give everybody in that division a game. They play everybody tough. To the
whole division, man. All those teams
like
each other. I feel like that's like I feel like it's our division, man. Like the AFC North, like the NFC North, man. All those teams just beat the hell out of each other. And I agree with you guys. I'm giving by the way, I'm giving the Bengals 11 wins. I think they're going to win 11 games this year. Even with that, if the defense is still really bad, I just think that if Joe Burrow's healthy with all those weapons and the offensive line performs, I think they're going to score 40 points a game. And even if they give up 30 or 35,
like they're gonna have to can you say they sweep Baltimore? They sweep Baltimore or Pittsburgh?
No.
I mean, we can say they'll sweep. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can say that. We can even go out here and say, yeah, they'll sweep Cleveland. But
division games, though, you never know.
Division, right. There you go. So, like anywhere from 9 to 11, man, it just because the division is so tough and we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Aaron Rodgers somebody knock Aaron Rodgers from the blind side and he out for the rest of the year. That'll open it up a little bit more for Cincinnati. But I think Pittsburgh is gonna be one of them teams where you're gonna have to come with your helmet on, man.
Come with your lunch bucket. You gotta pack your lunch. It's gonna be an 8-hour job for sure.
Well, guys, what about the Eagles? How about the Eagles? We as we talk a little bit about the Eagles as we're closing in on the first half. What about the Eagles? Do you think they do what they did last year? They lost some players, man, and they've lost.
They also have a new offensive coordinator.
What Williams, new offensive coordinator. Don't discount what Kellen Moore did for them last year too. So
right, Kellen,
and that's gonna be
Kellen Moore is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, he did a great job for them last year. So I think the Eagles probably a 9. What do you think? A 9-10 win team.
Again, here we go. Dak's back. Well, the Giants, I'm not putting no faith in Russell Wilson, but Malik Neighbors is a dog. So, all right, you got a team with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. And how far they go, Bishop?
Well, who you talking about? The Giants?
Now, they got a good defense, but we got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
I have the Giants winning 8 games.
So that means the Eagles probably about 9 or 10.
Eagles gonna be an 11 win. Gonna probably be an 11 win. I give them 11 wins because again they got the best equalizer in the game, boss, and Saquon.
Yeah.
Again, until you stop them. So I give them 11 wins because they won. How many wins they had? How many wins did they have last year? 14, right?
14.
So I don't think they can repeat what they did last season because of the new offensive coordinator, and that's the reason why I say 11 wins because within their division, the team that's going to push them are going to be the Commanders. And that's only if they get Scary Terry signed. Again, that's another team. I don't understand what the hell they're doing. You got a second-year quarterback that has a great relationship with your primary receiver. Besides the fact that he's been your primary staple when you was hot garbage, and now you want to choose not to pay him.
It boggles me too.
They did sign
Debo ain't Scary Terry. Debo can't do what Scary Terry do, boss. It was a reason why San Francisco didn't mind letting him walk. So be mindful of that, everybody. There was a reason why they let him walk. And stay in the NFC at that. So that's letting you know what they really think about Debo. And then he showed up the camp looking like a full keg of beer.
Man, Dak Prescott is back.
Jesus. The Cowboys 8 games. I'm going on record now. 8 games. That's it.
They won 7.
They're gonna win
Dak,
one more with them.
I see that. That means an Eagle sweep then, right? An Eagle sweep for them?
Yeah.
Over the Cowboys?
Well, we'll find out first game of the season.
I'm going to be honest.
Football, man.
I actually think the Commanders is going to sweep them. That's 4 losses right there, boss. The only team that they're going to be able to beat in their division, and I think they're going to split with the Giants. Yeah, I said it.
Giants fan over here this show. 9-win Giants team. Like I said, the 9-win Bears team, right?
No. This is the crazy thing. Eagles, not the Eagles, but the Giants and the Cowboys are going to have identical records this year. They'll both win 8 games.
So I'm pulling up the I'm going to pull up the Eagles. I was looking at the Bengals schedule. The first 2 games against the Browns and the Jaguars, that's why I think they can actually get off to a good start.
Those are winnable games, yes.
But those are very because they're known to have a slow start. But when I look at the Eagles, and how they start the season, because I remember it was kind of difficult. No, okay, yeah. So they open up against the Cowboys. And then they got to play the Chiefs and the Rams after that. Right after.
Well, the Rams right now, man, I'm a little reluctant with the Rams because I don't know what we're gonna get out of Stafford, man. He's having back issues, and we've seen this play out so many other times, man, in other sports, along with football. When that back, especially that lower back, becomes a problem and an issue, oftentimes guys can't have the level of production that they've had prior to. So me personally, I think the Rams are still going to be a team to be dealt with, but look, man, I'm not 100% sold on them, man, because Stafford hasn't taken any type of reps in practice in training camp at all. And we're talking about a lower back. And if he gets hit wrong, he could easily be sidelined. So I don't know, man, with them. I'm not feeling I hate to say this, but I'm not feeling very confident when it comes to the Rams right now and with regard to Stafford's health. Who do they have as a backup quarterback?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think the Rams.
Jimmy G, man.
I think the Rams are going to be exactly who they have been. 10 wins in that. Looking at that division, the way that division is, I mean, you would think that Arizona is going to be better. You think the 49ers will rebound, but the Rams have a combination of good coaching and some pretty good players, man. Let's be honest. They just gave the running back Williams an extension, and Matt Stafford has had every physical ailment that you can pretty much name. He has to be one of the toughest guys to ever play this game.
Yeah, but lower back is different. D-Nights.
No. Absolutely.
Arms, shoulder, legs, all that. I get it, man. That's
right.
And my only question mark with the Rams is his health.
Well,
honestly,
being he's at disadvantage health wise, right? Especially right now. Sean McVay, even through the years, Sean McVay has done a very good job of managing the game for him and kind of keeping him out of harm's way. He's savvy enough to get rid of the football. McVay really believes in the deception and the running of the football, because that's who he is anyway. And he's since that Super Bowl year, he's done a good job of protecting Matt Stafford, from, certain things. But one big hit to take anybody out the game these days and time. But on the other side of the ball for the Rams, they got a very good D-line. They got the defensive rookie of the year in Jared Verse, right? He was defensive rookie of the year, right? Jared Verse? Was he? Yeah, like
great player.
They have Verse. Linebackers are very good. Very aggressive, opportunistic defense. There are some questions in the secondary, but it's some serviceable guys out there. I think the Rams are going, because of they are coached so well, and they have a pretty good chemistry over there.
Did they add Devontae Adams to the offense too?
Yeah.
Okay.
with Puka Nakua, like this is what I'm saying.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I have them. They can easily win 10 games, no problem.
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
no
that's
problem.
who they've been.
Again,
That's who they were last year.
my biggest question mark is Matt's health. But again, like you said, Sean McVay is supreme in managing the game to protect his guys. So I give them 10 wins. They can easily win 11, maybe even 12 with if Matt is healthy,
Mhm.
because they got a heck of a running game, and they just paid their running back, who was a fifth rounder, by the way.
Yeah.
But he just got that bag. So
And if you look in division, hell, they all giving up 400 points. They all gave up damn near 400 points. Points
they
against.
score that
Yeah,
division.
but
They put up points. Yeah.
they giving up just as much as they score. Like I said, Arizona finished 89 last season. You would hope with what they have going on, you would see some improvement. So that's what it really is all based on. Last year, you had the Rams at 10-7, Seattle at 10-7, Arizona at 8-9, and San Francisco bringing up the rear at 6-11.
Okay, you just mentioned a team. Let's flip this real quick, because since we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the team and a number of points and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle now has Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Are they going to remain on that same trajectory, or will they regress now that
Now,
they've added Sam Darnold
now,
with the absence of Geno? So how is that going to look for them?
that's a good question, but I got a
That's
better
Sam Darnold
question.
you're gonna get.
Right. Look, is Minnesota Sam Darnold coming to Seattle, or is Carolina New York Jets Sam Darnold coming to Seattle? Because with Sam Darnold, Kevin O'Connor and the wide receiver for Minnesota, they ain't coming with him. I think who they got waiting on them over there in Seattle is
Oh, right. He lost, and they don't have DK Metcalf.
but they got Cooper Kupp. They got Cooper Kupp waiting on them. And a couple tight ends.
Yeah,
With a pretty good running back.
8 wins, 9 wins, maybe 8 wins. 8 wins.
They're gonna have to fight for that, in my opinion.
The Eagle. By the way, guys, the Eagles driving. I should mention, as we are talking about the NFL in general right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles driving down here on a 2-minute warning. They just took another timeout, trying to score here again. They've looked pretty impressive here. McKee has looked pretty impressive. Their drives have looked pretty impressive, and I think that just goes to show you here with the Eagles and the coaching staff, man. Not to get away from anything, but just to go to show you with the coaching staff and how prepared they've looked very prepared for this game, man. And you just got to come away saying, all right, man, this defending Super Bowl champs not even playing their starters right now, and
Mm-hmm.
But
guys coming
you
in, man.
know what that's called, Matt? That's called not just consistency, but this is a team that this same unit, this same team has been together now 2 going on 3 years, with the plus or minus a few players been shifted in and out. But for the most part, man, this team's been together. So, this is what we mean about, again, and D Nice mentioned this early on in the segment about drafting well. This is a team that knows his identity, and they draft to their identity. So I'm not surprised to see the second unit performing well. Heck, you're going to see some drop off on the third unit, but I expect to see the third unit perform relatively well. It's a culture thing, man, and the culture is ingrained in that team. And look, man, it says a lot, man, when you're able to consistently, year after year after year, win 10 plus games a season.
Mm-hmm.
That's saying a lot, and this team has done it, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs. There are certain teams, man, that the culture is just there.
It's just there. It's just there, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm excited to see their front seven play. I know they didn't play today, man, but I like when we get into the regular season, I'm excited to see those guys come back out, man. And it's a touchdown. Touchdown, Eagles.
Fly, Eagle, fly, huh?
Another touchdown pass from McKee. Yeah, fly, Eagle, fly, man. Is that a second touchdown pass or is that his first touchdown pass?
I think it's his first. I think Shipley got the first one.
Yeah, shit, that's right.
But going back to the NFC West, man, the biggest question mark is going to be the Niners. Now, we can lean on what we used to seeing from them and just take last year as one of those years, but I can't see it that way. Now, good thing they paid their quarterback, but they got a number of guys coming off injury, man, and these guys are vested veterans, and as we all know, when you get older, you don't get healthier. Christian McCaffrey has been through.
He done been through hell and back.
Yeah. You know, Big Trent over there. He's coming down to the end of the road. He's still very good, still the best of the best at the left tackle position, but he's battling injuries and he's very long in the tooth.
Does Brock Purdy live up to the contract?
That's a good question. He's in the right system for him. But is he good? And see, that was the knock on Purdy, and that's why a lot of people felt like Purdy shouldn't get paid like one of these guys that they had, you know what I'm saying, that we consider amongst the elite, because he's not, people don't feel like he's good enough to overcome situations where as far as carrying an injury riddled team.
Or be that guy that they win because of.
Right. You know, and them going 6-11, you know, it told a story for me. I respect Shanahan as a coach, but I think, you know, they're gonna have to have a sit down. It's gonna have to be a couple of conversations to be had. Seriously, it's gonna have to be some conversations had over there if they ain't been already. John Lynch and company gonna have to keep it real, you know, because in the NFL, man, we all see it. You know, that window is very, you know what I'm saying, it is very small and it closes quick.
Yeah.
That's the same conversation we could have about the Bengals. I mean, that's what we're talking about with the Bengals here tonight. Is we're talking about Joe Burrow and how they have missed the playoffs in here, but that window, man, that's why you're going and having to sign some of these players now that are playing out their contracts, because that window is not there all the time, and you want to win, and that's why I think so many people they're mind-boggling how the Bengals
like you got a receiver. You got the receiver coming off of ACL. You got Big Trent. He's coming off an injury. Brock Purdy dealt with injuries last year. I mean, he played through most of them. Christian McCaffrey, the guy that's the catalyst for your offense.
Well, the offense runs through Christian.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and he's one of these guys that's, you know, he's been bit by the injury bug more than one time, man.
Did they bring anybody in, man, that could remotely be more than a serviceable backup for Christian?
Well, they had one. He went to Minnesota, but as far as the guys they brought in,
did they draft a running back?
That's a good question.
They had the kid from Louisville last year.
Yeah. They drafted a kid out of Oregon, the little guy.
Oh, they got
Jordan
Bucky.
James.
Oh, they got Jordan. Okay, they got James. Okay.
You know, Buck is over there in Tampa Bay.
He's at Tampa, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But what they did,
I like Bucky, man.
They went heavy defense. They went heavy defense in their first.
So they're trying to get back to their staple, what they were known for.
The first 5 picks were defense.
Okay, so they trying to get back to
first 5 picks were defense. Now they added Jordan Watkins from Ole Miss. Um, like I said, they got the kid from Oregon at running back. They got a backup QB, a guard, and another wide receiver. The seventh round receiver from Montana. Where he fits, who knows? But um, they got Michael Williams. Got to bring pressure off the edge, but he's dealing with
Did he get hurt today?
a knee. Yeah, yeah,
I thought I saw that. There was a lot of
yeah.
injuries today, man. There's a lot of teams that have some injuries today.
So Nick Martin. Now Nick Martin is damn good. I like him coming out of Oklahoma State. I do like him. He's gonna be one of those guys that pop out and he fits what the Niners like to do. Alfred Collins, a lot of people were high on him. I'm there. We'll see. But they got the safety that was injured too, Mufonga.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like a lot of guys injured over there, man. But they're a huge question mark for me in that NFC.
It's gonna be interesting, man. That's for doggone sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season, guys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited because we're gonna be doing these watch parties every Thursday, man. So we're gonna be able to watch a lot of these teams that we're talking about, get into some of these games, and every Thursday night, guys, we got these watch parties. You guys can join along with us, and we thank you guys for watching this too. By the way, man, appreciate you guys' support here, at Chicago Sports Podcast. If this is you're new to it, man. You guys can like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, man. You'll get all the notifications when our shows pop up as we're nearing the end of the
Matt, what do they get for subscribing, liking, and tuning in and just participating as well as sharing the content? What do they get? What do they have the opportunity of winning?
There's an opportunity of I'm going to pull free jersey. That's right. We got the free jersey giveaway going on right now. To what you're saying, Bishop, and I'll tell you what, Bishop, you would look good in one of these.
Yeah, just without the question mark. Yeah,
I was going to say.
Big question mark.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, nah, man. I'm going to say this, man, with regard to across the league. I'm hoping for every team, all 32 of them, to have successful seasons, without any real devastating injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see some competitive football this year. I don't want to hear, oh, well, this team didn't do well because this person was hurt, that person was hurt, this, that, and the third. No, I'm hoping for competitive football this season. I feel that there's going to be much needed parity in the league now because the NFC, man, people sleep on the NFC. I know everybody looks at the AFC, and AFC right now, without question, probably have the best quarterbacks. But there's some quarterbacks coming up within the NFC, man, that people need to start paying attention to, And I just think, man, that's going to really lead for some great parity, some awesome football games this season.
By the way, guys, another touchdown for the Eagles.
Sheesh. They rolling.
Second touchdown pass of the game for McKee, man. James, good to see you, James. Calvin C, what up, dude? Nice to see you, Calvin C. Thank you guys for watching. How about that? Another touchdown. We got 35 seconds left here in the second quarter, guys. And Eagles look really sharp, man, with their backups, huh?
Yeah, they rolling.
Very good.
Sirianni got them boys rolling, man.
What I've been paying attention to watching this game, man, and even though, granted, it's just the second, the second units and everything that's been playing. This new offensive coordinator is not gun shy. He looks like he's about stretching that field. So maybe we'll get more passing yardage from Jalen Hurts this year.
Kevin Patullo is his name.
He's
been with the Eagles for a couple of years now. Yeah. He's their associate head coach, pass game coordinator for the last couple.
So he's been of the cloth. He's been of the cloth already. So he ain't just got there. He's been there, so he understand how Sirianni want this thing to go. So that's cool. Tanner McKee out of Stanford. He looks like he got some good. 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 He looks like he got Good showing today, man. He earned. I
Yeah,
think he might have earned himself a spot.
I
Very good
I was
showing.
just getting ready to say that. Yeah, I mean he put up some good numbers today, man. I mean his poise in the pocket, man. And his accuracy and his ball placement has been good today.
Let's finish up this. If you guys want to, we can finish up this divisional conversation, and we can get up out of here.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left, guys, as we'll start wrapping up here as we get to halftime.
So since we're talking divisional, let's jump real quick here before we get out of here. Let's talk about our division.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down. Let's go down the list, fellas. Wins and losses. Where do you see everybody lining up?
I think everybody's good enough to be. Well, Minnesota will be my. I think they'll bring up the rear, even though they have what they have on defense and they coach is who he is. I just think out of the teams in the division, I think Minnesota has the biggest deficiency, being that they had this young guy unproven at the quarterback position. Now, what they have done is they've stockpiled running backs to
Take the pressure off of them.
ensure, yeah, and ensure that they can move, you know what I'm saying, the chain. But even with their offensive line, it wasn't the best. I think Sam Darnold did a great job of making them look better than what they actually were, because of his escapability and his ability to read coverage and get the football out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think anywhere from 9 to 11 for all three, Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago. The schedule looks daunting, but as you guys know, I don't like to kind of look into that too much because that could be a little tricky, as we all know as Bears fans, looking at the schedule. But I think Green Bay, I can't do nothing but respect them. They have a very good group. Hopefully we can get a sweep out of somebody. Just talking like a Bears fan, but um, in divisional games, man, they're gonna be tough. But it just depends on how everybody handles their games outside the division. What's gonna probably make the difference of it
Mm-hmm.
I agree
all.
with that.
I agree. Okay, so that's Minnesota. What's your thoughts on the Lions, man? They lost the most in terms of coordinators. Uh Shoot. They even lost some players, man. So what you think gonna happen with them, man? How do you think they're gonna shake out? Are they gonna be the same Detroit Lions that we've seen this last two seasons, man? Or do you think they may take a slight slide?
Um, and I think Matt might agree with me. Yeah. And you too, Bishop. They did lose coaching, but they still got their core guys in the building, man. Jared Goff is still there. The two-head monster at running back is still there. Those weapons they have as far as tight end and wide receivers are still there. And they still have, what I'm saying, Big Hutch, what I'm saying, bringing pressure from, what I'm saying, the edge. He's coming off an injury, true enough, but he was prepared to come back at the end of last season. They didn't allow him to. So, you got the players there. It's all about how the coaches is gonna coach it up. Hopefully, they don't try to outsmart themselves and reinvent the wheel. But I just think the Bears are going to be much improved, and the Green Bay is going to be who they are. They're going to be tough regardless because they have players and they have a system. So all in all, I think Detroit. I don't think Detroit gonna win 13, 14 games like they've been doing. I don't think that shit's happening. I think everybody's gonna be there from that 9 to 11. Outside of Minnesota, I think Minnesota may be 7 or 8.
So is it possible that the NFC North could potentially send three teams this year?
I think it's possible.
It would be nice, but again, we have to look
because
at
I
this
think the
thing as
NFC
a
East
whole.
is going to take a little hit. Like I said, I don't have Dallas or the Giants winning more than 8 games. So and we got to and Dallas is on our schedule. So if we beat Dallas, we pretty much
Yeah,
we're ahead of them. Okay,
it makes that game. It makes that game, even though
it's
it's early, it
important.
makes it a
It's an
lot
important
bigger.
game.
And I've already announced that that game is automatically a belt to ass situation. For you viewers look at, you know what I'm saying, a show we had probably like a month and a half ago. I announced that that Cowboy game has to be a belt to ass situation because of the comments of Matt Eberflus. But moving on, us getting 3 teams in the playoffs, I look at it. It is a possibility, but we have to understand, just from this, just looking at this thing as a whole. San Francisco, who are they and what are they going to be? And as much as people like to hate on Dak Prescott, he's a very good quarterback and he's coming back healthy to play for the Cowboys. That makes a difference because with him in the lineup, for a full year, they win 10 or 12 games. They just do. And he throws for damn near 5,000 yards and gets a lot of touchdowns, even though he only throwing the damn ball to CD Lamb, but he finds a way to get it done. So those would be the questions for me if we get get 3 teams in the playoff, because we just have to respect it. Because I believe fans of the NFC East feel like they can get 3 in. Hell, the NFC West too.
The the West, I don't see the West doing it. I don't, and like I said, I don't see the East doing it. And the South, that's going to be
Atlanta, Tampa.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, yeah. And I got Tampa winning, and I actually had Tampa winning that division.
So 3 teams.
So,
I think we have 3 teams in NFC North.
and mind you now, and when I say 3 teams going into the playoffs, everybody needs to know one of those teams, which I have us, I'm not going to say sneaking into the playoffs. I have us going into the playoffs as a wild card team.
All we asked for is a chance, baby.
Oh yeah, we asked for a chance.
Hey, FYI, I don't know if you guys know, and nothing was announced, but I was just, my pops just told me, man, Anthony Richardson is hurt.
Is he really?
Sustained an injury, sustained a hand injury in the first quarter. Yes.
I'll have to go. I'm going to go back and look at the X of all the feeds of the beat writers for all the games today, man, and read about that. Ooh, man, as we talk about the Eagles and Bengals, man. So
we'll
have to go back, man. And
hey, man.
Daniel Dimes.
Yeah.
Daniel Dimes, baby.
Daniel Dimes, pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Boss. I feel for that kid, man.
Guys, as we wrap things up here, thank you guys for watching the Chicago Sports Podcast. We appreciate all you guys' support. Like and subscribe on our YouTube page, guys, and you guys can follow us along for all of our shows. We'll be back next week for our next show for another watch party. Any final thoughts for you guys tonight, Bishop, D Nice? Anything about the game that we watched or Bears joint practice with the Dolphins this weekend?
Go ahead, D Nice. I'll take it off, D Nice. That way you can close this out, boss. My take on what we've seen thus far is we're seeing, and I think this might be infectious throughout the league for the most part, especially teams that have replaced coordinators and added players at key skill positions, is we're going to see more first team reps in this year preseason, especially maybe game 1 and game 2. I don't expect to see any first team reps in the third preseason game. What we've seen tonight, we've seen some very competitive football. And that's letting everybody know and letting us know from what we're seeing is the preparation and getting ready for the start of the season is real. And these guys are not taking anything by chance. They're putting in the work to, and everybody is looking and expecting to be competitive. But there's going to be a major separation after the first 4 weeks. These first 4 weeks, looking at a lot of these schedules, is going to be very, very, very important. That's why I think we're seeing the first team reps in the preseason. Because if you go across the league and look at some of these schedules, especially some of the top teams, these schedules ain't no punk. And it can, and if you get caught sleeping, you know, you can easily start the season off 0-2, 0-3. And we all know digging yourself out of that type of hole is tough, if not almost damn near impossible. You know, because you got to factor in injuries and other things like that. So I enjoyed the games that, you know, I had a chance to kind of flip the channels and catch a couple different teams playing. You know, I watched some of that Colts game. They started out, that was a good game. Everybody started good. This Philadelphia Bengals game, great game as well. I'm excited, man. You know, I want to see some NFC North games, man. That's what I really want to pay attention to. I want to see what our competition within our division is looking like. You know, so Saturday and Sunday is going to be key for me. I will be tuned in tomorrow though, because there is one team that just can't seem to get it right. We're gonna see what they do with the latest quarterback situation. You know, what type of entertainment we're gonna get from that. But other than that, man, again, I'm just excited, man, that we got some football. You know, now I got to readjust my schedule to be able to make sure that I can fit in these games because I don't like missing many. So I'm gonna be doing some magical work with my schedule. That's all I'm gonna say, boss. Cause I'm looking to be glued to the boob tube, as my grandmother used to call it, the boob tube. I look to be glued to it. So, but no, man. As always, man, it's always great, man, to watch some football. But more important, it's great to be able to chop it up with you guys, man, as well as and the participation from my chat. I thank everybody, and I enjoy spending my Thursday evenings with you two guys, man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. Likewise. Super thankful for everybody that watched us tonight. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for kicking it with us. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw and what you heard. Even if you didn't, please like and subscribe. It's still a lot more for us to show you. Appreciate all the comments in the chat. It's football, man. Pre-week 1, baby. We here.
Hell yeah, we're here.
From this point on, we got football till February. Hey, listen, we creeping up to September, man. And listen, hopefully all these guys remain healthy, especially for the Bears. Bears fans, please keep things in perspective. Do not allow the crazy media to sway you one way or the other. Please watch the games and come up with your own evaluations. But listen, every bad play doesn't mean that we're jumping off a cliff, people. Just stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Every bad practice doesn't mean that we going crazy out here. Stay with it. Let the games happen and let the game show you what we are. At the end of the day, whatever we are, we gotta believe it and we gonna get better. You guys, listen, you guys are great, man. Shout out to Chicago Sports Podcast. Shout out to Tracks. Shout out to you, Bishop. Shout out to you, Matt. This has been a hell of a night. I always appreciate kicking it with y'all. I'm gonna stay locked in, baby.
I love you. I love doing the show with you guys, man. I look forward to this every Thursday, man. So it's good to know you two, man, and everybody watching tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Indeed,
Sorry if I keep
indeed.
clearing my throat and stuff, man. I've been battling food poisoning all day. So I've been, if my face looks like it's just like all very pale right now, man. So that's why I was able to do this, man, and because it gets you away from all that stuff, man. That's why I love doing the show.
Well, man, I'm
Keep
surprised.
feeling the
I'm
Gatorade,
surprised
brother.
you hanging in like you do, man. Because boss, part of your actual vocation, you're talking all day. You doing it anyway, boss. So but thank you, man, for just keeping us on task, man, and just doing the great thing that you, boss, which is you provide us with some very thought-provoking questions, man, and I appreciate that from you.
I appreciate you guys, man. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you guys to Bishop, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. D-Nice, man. It's always good to see everybody watching today, man.
Yes, indeed.
I'm Matt Cooper. Thank you guys so much for watching us. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a great week and enjoy all the football.